Bridges Live, and also you guys who follow me on the Healthy Mind. This afternoon, depending on what time you're coming from, I have one of my friends that's on, and Latasha Holden. So we're going to be discussing. We haven't talked in a little bit because she's been busy, and I just want to catch up with her about all those things. So Latasha, can you help us out and introduce yourself about what you've been doing?
Oh my goodness. Well, I am Dr. Latasha Holden. I was recently chosen to represent the state of Georgia as Mother of the Year for 2020, but God had a little something more for me. So now I represent as National Mother 2020 by the American Mothers Inc. I'm super excited about my new and first time writing a comic book, The Light Shall Rule, which will be out mid-June. So I'm excited about that. It's just been a crazy, wonderful. God has just keep taking my breath away this year. So I'm excited to see what's to come.
So when you're talking about your new book coming out, and it's a comic book, but you have written other books for kids and people, and we were trying to get them overseas. You remember?
Yeah, I was trying to donate at least 100 of maybe of all four of my children's books. So a nice set of books for each one. But this is my first time though doing a comic book. It was definitely different, and I was led by the Holy Spirit to do it. And I just use this time to bring out my creative side. Again, this is the Light Shall Rule Christian comic book, and I'm excited. It was definitely a joy. So it's getting illustrated now, the inside. And I'm excited to see this project come to life.
So I started a little bit of a writing group online, and basically what we're going to be doing is everybody writes a piece. So this next round, it's a romantic. Last round was a thriller, and people, you just have to write 300 words, and no one sees each other's writings. And then I send it to the proofreader and the rewriter, and all the stories get meshed together.
Awesome.
Yeah, so this round is a romantic romance, and so it's the principle is the same. You can write less than 300, but 300 I would like more of, so that's more perfect for me. And then again get mashed together. So if you want to get in on that, I would love to have you. I have the title and everything. I just give you the title and the subject.
Okay, I'll definitely let you know. I told my daughter, I was helping her she just about to graduate in a couple weeks with her bachelor's in liberal studies. So the end of the journey, when she got a little tired, I had to help with some of her reading to help her on the phone. Just to kind of help pull that out of her. And so I'm a little fried right now, but I definitely keep that in mind.
So let's talk about, I started this every morning. I start this Healthy Mind, and I do Bridges Live, and Bridges is, but anyway, during this COVID, right? And I know a lot of things have changed for people. Your principal purpose is still the same. Has the delivery had to be different?
No, and that's the great thing. I think for me, my delivery is still inspiration, hope, and empowerment. So even with my Christian comic book, I'm encouraging the body of Christ. With my new inspirational T-shirt line, so everything is to inspire and to give encouragement. So everything is I'm just sticking with who I am and the path that God has me on. And so with that, it keeps me focused, and it keeps me in a state of mind where I'm disciplined in the things God is calling me to do.
Let me, and people like to mention God or mention the faith, the belief they have, but it seems like times like this, people's faith have gotten tested about what's next. They're so afraid about what's next. Do you find that how that's going? People are still very apprehensive about really laying down their complete faith in the direction that they're going.
a lot of people are probably scared. You know, when you're used to traditionally, you get up, go to work, come home, and when that is broken, you know, it's like, oh my goodness, what's next? I'm out of my norm. I'm out of my element. For me, to come from being homeless was nothing. You know, my mindset had to, it kind of changed during that process. To be homeless with 6 kids for 3.5 years, I had learned how to keep my mind, I guess, focused where I'm not deterred so much. I'm not deterred when things go up and down because I've been there. I've been sleeping in an abandoned house, car shelter, crying when nothing seems. So for me, I've learned how to rest in the midst of adversity. But for a lot of people, I think when their normality of their life is being fluctuated and they're not used to that, fear does set in.
You know, if people don't know the story, and this, you tell the story, but in short, there's a strength in all stories. There's a strength in testimony, and I agree to that. So you want to, if people haven't heard your story about you going from homeless, 6 kids, and your kids are now doing so amazingly, not that they wasn't amazing when you're homeless, but people don't look at homeless people, they actually block it out, right? They don't even want to see them.
Well, you know, for me, within the last 10, 12 years, I went from being homeless in the streets of Atlanta at 35 years old. At 35 years old, I was uneducated, underemployed, homeless with 6 children, and did not know what to do. I was scared out of my mind. So within the last 10 years, only by the grace of God, because there's no way I could have did it, I went from being homeless to a political candidate in the 2017 election, from a GED to a doctorate degree in leadership studies. I became a 12-time published author. I'm now a professional inspirational speaker. I just run my inspirational clothing line. And now I'm National Mother of the Year by American Mothers Inc., which I'm the 85th woman to hold that honor in U.S. history. And so for me, it definitely has been a journey of learning how to stay focused in the midst of adversity and times of uncertainty. So it has definitely helped me during this COVID-19.
So that, and that's the important part about all this, you know what I mean? The important part is about people still don't have that wherewithal, that complete, I can do everything. And even in our midst of the storm, quote, storm or troubles, did you waver from your faith, or did you understand that this was all what it was supposed to meant to be?
You talking about now or going through that journey?
Going through that journey.
Oh, I wavered. I questioned God. You know, that first, you know, as a pastor, I used to ask people what happens when your struggle outlasts your strength. You know, it's easy for us to go through when it's 2 months, a couple of weeks, but for me, to be homeless 3.5 years and an uneducated black woman with 6 children, of course my faith wavered. I mean, it got so bad. I walked into a hospital and checked myself into the middle because I wanted to commit suicide.
Right.
I mean, you know,
right.
So my faith wavered, but the more I kept going, the more I kept pushing. Even if I wanted to cry and scream and give up, God just met me there. It's no way I could have did it, Dr. Dyer. I mean, I'm not a part of any elite groups except for now being Georgia Mother of the Year. I mean, that's that organization was American Mothers Inc. was started back with Franklin D. Roosevelt wife, J.C. Penn. So it's a very elite national organization. But at that time, I wasn't a part of any group. I didn't know anyone. You know how sometimes you got them connections.
Yeah.
I didn't have the financial family support. So, of course, my faith wavered many a times, but it was only when I kept pushing and learned the art of discipline. I remember my undergrad professor told the class that the world belongs to those who are disciplined. It was then I was able to keep going forward.
I always say we have to develop 3 things, and there's branches and trees of the 3 things, but you have to develop a practice. You have to develop a training module for yourself, and you have to have faith. Now, people sometimes switch out faith with belief, and in Greek terms, belief just means wish. I don't wish for anything. I mean, you could be hopeful, but hope is not a plan for you to have. You know what I mean? Hope is, and we do that in the self-protection world or the martial. If you're just betting on, well, I hope it doesn't happen to me, then you're going to be missed, or you're gonna get hurt. And then when it comes
Yes.
to training, people say, well, what do you train? You train yourself how to. It, dot dot dot. It doesn't matter what the training involves. School, training means training to be able to, right? And then the practice. Practice means when you're practicing your faith, you're practicing your how you want to be. It's a daily practice. You have to implement it on a daily, all the time, and that's where you get that discipline from.
That's and you know what, Dr. Dyer, that's why I wrote my training manual, how I rebuilt my life.
Mm.
So I'm aiding others to so they can change the narrative for their lives, and also, like you said, put a system in place to help retrain the mind, to help, because I had a poverty mindset. You know, if I dropped out
Ooh.
of school in the 10th grade, had 4 kids by the time I was 20. So to be homeless at 35, I mean, we start to start off without education, to start off with no financial support. I mean, I was at the bottom, but brick by brick, piece by piece, walking in faith. Within 12 years, here we are later, and only God could take a former homeless woman to represent the U.S. as National Mother of the Year in 2020.
Now, when you say you had a homeless mentality, what did you mean by that?
Yeah. But poverty mentality, one of those of woe is me, I can't make it, I messed up, you know, I will accept the crumbs. Um, uh, Life is not fair. God has nothing for me. I'm useless to it. Just my mindset of being defeated for so long was probably the hardest thing that I had to change out the whole process. That was the hardest thing for me to start seeing myself the way God was seeing me. I tell you, I thought he was trying to kill me. That was that purging of
Wow. Wow.
feeling my parents. That was that purging of domestic violence relationship. You know, where you just constantly been told you're nobody, you're not lovable, you're not wanted. That was the hardest part of my journey, was changing my mindset.
And you know, when it comes to the mindset, one of the things that we know or we don't understand, and that's why I do that healthy mind every morning about the healthy mind, because the mindset changes the chemical response in the body. It does a lot of harm to you, and if you don't recognize that you're being made a puppet from your own misunderstanding or from your lack of understanding or your mentality like you don't think you can succeed, then you won't succeed. And you change that narrative. You change. So do you have a clothing line next to you where you can hold up your shirt and where they can get it?
Matter of fact, let me just glance over. You see my models. These are just some of my shirts here. And so I have the website, Genuine Expressions. And I would have hate to take the phone off but just some of my shirts. But I have the website they can go on, and we have shirts for men now and children. We have shirts now for men and children, and it's called Genuine Expressions. And these expressions on these shirts were sayings that I had to incorporate during that journey. You know, I choose me. I had to kind of keep telling myself, you're worthy. God loves me. Don't give up on yourself. You have the power to rewrite your story. No surrender, no defeat. And God walks with me, and sometimes he carries me. And that's just what our journey is. Sometimes the journey gets so heavy and burdened that we cannot walk, and that is when God carries us. So I wrote some of my genuine expressions. These expressions came from my heart to help others when they're feeling down. Put on one of the t-shirts to help encourage you and help give you that extra boost. And so I'm excited about that. I launched that in February of this year.
That's if there could be several things in this time of, and I don't like to use crisis, and I pause because crisis is such a damaging word, and it's been used to keep people in fear, and it's used to withhold your emotions, to be trapped within yourself. So in this new era, our new normal, that we're rolling into or that we are, what is a principle that could help someone that you want to let people know?
Um, Figure out your why. For me, my why for whatever I do, whether it's my clothing line, books, my comic book, my why is to inspire, and give hope because I know what it feels like when everyone looks the other way. So for me, figure out your why, and your why is going to give you that passion and that fuel when you don't know how sometimes. You know, and that's that why, okay, you know what, I got to get up. And it's not about trying to be popular or seen, because I tell people this all the time, that I would rather be elevated by God than man any day. Because when God elevates you, nobody can take that from you. But find your why. Your why is going to give you a reason to live. It's going to renew your faith and give you that hope to keep pushing forward in these uncertain times.
That is it hit it right on the head, because me being a science-minded person, I ask that question, the why. I don't ask it. When you ask someone a why to someone else, it's a very negative word. I feel like if you say something to me and I say, well, why is that for you? You know, it's like, well, now it could feel like you have to defend your principle or your purpose. So we can now ask each other how. Like, how to do that, Dr. Latasha? How do we do that? How can I achieve that? Not why did you do that and why can't I? You know, so why is so understanding your why within is a great word. Like, why am I doing this? Why should I do this? Why will I do this? So understanding your personal why is different than asking someone else their why.
Exactly, and that's what I was referring to. When you understand your personal why, that to me, when you understand your personal why, it puts the blinders on where you don't see the other runners. It gives you tunnel vision where you're locked on everything because you operating in your personal why.
Right.
And of course, your actions. That's when the question where it's going to show the how. You know, the how you're expressing your why. But no, I totally agree with you that your why is something personal that you ask yourself, because it's going to guide your decisions. It's going to guide your choices. It's going to guide your actions. And it's also going to give you the courage to say no to things that does not serve you.
Well, since this is going on live on Facebook, Periscope, and Instagram, and whatever, all these other social media. But so, Doctor, put in your send me your website address so I can make sure I put it in the link with the comment section. So if people are watching this, they can just click on the link and go right to your website and ask you questions, because I know you do some coaching and stuff on the telephone and yet the video conferencing too. So people can reach out to you. Where are you located? You want to let people know where you're located?
I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right, you're in Atlanta, Georgia, and we know that your governor let people out sooner than other states let their people out. How do you think it's working out for you guys down there?
I agree he did that out sooner than others. And I think the problem that people are having outside of just what he did is the lack of responsibility on the people's part for going out without masks and gloves. I think because people are still going to do, it's almost like, okay, look, I know it's kind of burdensome for people to want to be stuck in the house for so long. I'm going to lift some restriction, but can y'all do y'all's part too? So I think that's where people are coming in. Okay, even if you lift the restriction, can we all just do our part, wear our mask while we, you know? And I think because people are not even participating in the limit to restriction, that all we have to do is slip on a mask and maybe wear gloves, you know, to where we're going.
Right.
I think that's where the coming when we see people out and about in large crowds.
Thank you. We've been talking with Dr. Letitia Holden, just an amazing woman. And I think women contacting women is helpful for them. It helps them know that the bond is strong, because we know how women can hold it down in our community, especially black women. You guys could just hold it down and it's strong. But a good woman is something that you can aspire to be, because I have 7 daughters. So, and I know they've had good women in their lives, and they've also had some bad women in their lives. But they're very strong individuals, and I like that. And having you on, hearing your voice, it inspires me. I know it inspires me. So thank you so much for coming on and spending a little bit of time with me. And I love you bunches. So thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me. Every time I think of you, I'm like, this is the man with a million degrees. I look up to you. I mean, you just, oh my goodness, your accolades and accomplishments. I definitely respect that. So thank you for thinking of me to have me on.
Absolutely. I will talk to you again. God bless, girl. You know you got everything you have in me. So you take it easy.
Thank you, Dr. Dyer.